Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marte. I come from Norway and I love makeup, and I'm so incredibly excited today because yesterday I just got my Glam Shop PR package as well as my order in one. Something that was in my PR package that I have been so excited about are the velvet shadows that they have. And I just played with one of them, like on my eyes here, it's just one shade. And I'm so in love. So in this video I will be doing some swatches of all of them. I also have 3 of the red ones that are not in this palette because there are 33 velvet shadows and this one only holds 30. So I will of course swatch all the 33 shadows, and then I am doing this look right here. It's just super simple and I'm just incredibly excited about it. So I did actually screenshot what the website of Glam Shop says about these shadows. They're called like Velour but also velvet shadows, but I think velvet is like the better word, I'm not sure. But it says that the shadows are their latest formula of shadows, offering a shimmering effect on a matte or semi-matte color base. You can use them to achieve soft and delicate result or build their intensity to the maximum. For best results, use glam glue as a base, apply with a brush or a finger. And I'm like, when I did this, I did both without the glam glue, I did with the brush, I did with a finger, so we will see how they apply. And honestly, it doesn't really matter to me, at least, because they both, like, all applications were so beautiful. These are so opaque and I'm so excited. And I haven't yet done the swatches, so I think we'll just get straight into that because I'm so excited to do that. First shadow out is White Rabbit right here, and it's just a white with a gold shift. It's really pretty. And there you have White Rabbit, just a beautiful inner corner shade, or you can use it on the lid. I think this is so beautiful. Second up we have 24K, which is a very like bright gold but with kind of like a warmer base. So pretty, just look at that. Then here we have Warm Amber, and I forgot to say, but I'll of course leave the names up on the screen, and I did already write them down together with the Polish name. Oh, just look at this. This is Warm Amber. And then it's the shade Toxic. I'm quite sure that these will stain if you just look at my finger, but I don't really care about that. It's just something to keep in mind if you're going to wear no makeup the day after using these. Oh, just look at that. Next up is Cool Beige, which is kind of like a warm, I guess you could call it a beige, but it has like this gorgeous cool tone shift. Honestly, I just feel like I love all these shades. I don't think this one would have been like one of the ones I had picked up if I had to just keep a few. Then it's the shade Bridal right here. Probably something that's nice for weddings. It's a little bit pink toned, as you can see, with a slightly goldish peachy shift. And I did try to put these in the order of which ones they could compare to a little bit. And here is the shade Maiden, which is almost like a glowy pinky peachy shade. Very pretty. Here is the shade Dream, which is one of those warm toned lighter shades with a super beautiful bluish purpley shift to it. And as you can see, these all swatch out so nicely. They're so like opaque and shiny and just incredible shadows. Here is the shade Seer. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can see the name on the screen right here. It's another one of those light pinkish shades with a blue shift. And the last of the second row and of this set is the shade that is called Grace, and I'm curious about the shift on this because it doesn't really look like it has an apparent shift in the pan. It's another one of those kind of peachy pink shifts. Like, you can see that these are all kind of a bit similar, but they do have some distinct differences, as you can see, like both in the shifts and in the undertones. So here are the first 2 rows, and I'm just going to show you guys like this with the names on the screen so you can see them all compared together and just find out which ones you might be interested in. For me, I don't even know which ones I like the most. I really like the Toxic one, number 4. And I also like both the goldish orangey ones, but yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Now I have the same settings on my camera. I just added my phone to show you with flash, so you can see the sparkles a little bit better and a little bit more of the shifts. Obviously it's easier to see when you don't have that much lighting, but I just find these so gorgeous. Of course, I leave all the names in like with the rows down in my description box, so you can go and check that out if you're not sure about the names, even though I showed them on screen earlier. But I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you guys to find the shades that you love and might want to purchase yourself. So hopefully this is helpful to see the shifts and the sparkles. And yeah, I just really think these are so gorgeous. Look at that top one. Next up we have Velour. This is such a gorgeous shade. This was definitely on my wish list if I had to pick them up myself. If the lighting is a little bit different, I apologize, but I just had a small break because a friend of mine came for lunch. But this is Velour, such a gorgeous shade. Just look at those shifts. You can see that the other shades stay stained a little bit, so I'm curious about the greens and blues. Then the next shade here is Urok or Charm, and this one looks quite similar in the pan to the other one, maybe just a bit darker. So I'm excited to see how these compare swatched out. So yeah, you can definitely see that the shifts are different. This Charm one is a little bit more like green and blue maybe. And it's a little bit deeper. Next up is Pastels, and this one is a little bit more shiny maybe than the previous ones in this row. So I'm curious how that translates. Yeah, you can really see that it's a little bit more shiny and it's a little bit more purple in the shifts compared to the others. Really beautiful, but here you can see the difference on these. This is a gorgeous one that's called Lavender, and this is obviously a way more lavender-y shade. It's a bright blue purplish shift. So pretty. Also quite shiny, as you can see. So that is Lavender. This one is called Space Dust, and that's such a cool name. I'm curious how this one looks once you put it on. It's a quite deep base, it seems like. Almost like a plummy brown. And definitely quite a bit deeper than the other ones that I've swatched already. But so pigmented. It's also very pretty for like a smoky, kind of warm toned look. Then it's the shade Truffles, and this one is like a warmer brown, almost like a little bit of red in it. Very pretty as well for like a brownish burgundy smoky look. These darker ones aren't like particularly my preference, just because I like brighter shimmers, but they are beautiful. Next one is called Compulsion, and this is kind of like maybe the one I would have picked up if I were to pick up one of these brown ones, just because it looks a little bit more shiny, as you can see. I feel like you can see it a little bit here. It's quite warm, but it has that shininess to it, which I really like. But again, it's not exactly my preference. And then it's the shade Cherry, which is so pretty, but it's also not super sparkly. And I also noticed that the previous one, Compulsion, does have a lot of like multicolored sparkles to it, which is just so stunning. So that's probably why I was gravitating more towards that one out of all of the browns. This is a gorgeous burgundy shimmer. And this is one of the most deep, or like the deepest ones. It is called Fanfares. And this one actually shifts a little bit, I feel like, because it's a little bit gray toned, but this is kind of like shifting to a little bit of a goldish tone, a gold or green. I'll just show you afterwards in the close-ups, I think, because it's kind of hard to see in this regular lighting. but you can definitely see the gray undertones. So there you can see all of these ones swatched together. I skipped the pink one because I feel like that will do better with like the more berry red tones, so you will see that afterwards or till the end. But here you can hopefully see all of these beautiful shades that are a little bit deeper and more brown toned. A lot of these are quite similar, but like when you see them close up, you can definitely see the difference because they have different shifts and different like kind of sparkles to them, which is just so beautiful. So here I'm just trying to show you the actual sparkles, and you can definitely see the difference in these shades, even though they are relatively similar. So again, just see what kind of shade speaks to you the most if you don't want all of them, because most of us can't afford that. But yeah, here you can at least see them all next to each other and compare to like see what kind of shade you prefer. And here you can definitely see that kind of shift I was talking about on that last one from Fairs, because it has that kind of peach to gold that also the green one that I'm wearing on my lid has. So I really like that kind of shift, even though it's a gray base. I find it really beautiful. Next up we have headliner. This is, by the way, the 5th row and my second to last set of swatches. This one was definitely on my wish list. I think like these bronzy golds are just so beautiful, and I think this is gorgeous. It's quite sparkly and it reminds me a little bit of the one in the burgundy palette. I do think my friend Katarina from Makeup Perspective already did compare them. This is called Old Gold, and again it's one of those bronzy golds that I really like. This is a little bit more yellow and green toned compared to this one, headliner, which has a lot more of like a burgundy undertone and just a pure bronzy gold shift. You can definitely see this is a lot more brown. Then it's the shade Macadamia, and I've seen a look with this one on Glam Shop's page. They reposted someone that used this, and like these browns look so gorgeous in their looks. So if you like neutrals, or if you want to get more into neutrals like me, I kind of want to dabble into some more neutrals, then these are like really beautiful because they are still smoky and pretty. So this one is Frozen Brown, and this one surprised me so much because I didn't even take a second look at it on their website, but when I saw this one in person, it looks so beautiful, like a smoky, cool toned brown, and it's really shiny. So I cannot wait to use this one actually, because I've been so into cool tones lately, and this one just really stood out to me for some reason. But yeah, it's really beautiful. Then this is the shade Abracadabra, which I obviously used on my lids today, and this is literally top 10 all-time shadows for me. It's so special. Just look at that shift. It has like a peach to pink shift and that gorgeous green base, and it's so shifty and shiny. Oh, this is just so beautiful. Like, can you see that? I don't have anything like this, I think. This is the shade Magic in Polish, or Wizard in English, and this one I just knew I had to have. It's got, like, you can even see it when I touch it. It has that blue base, and just look at that shine. Wow, it's so pretty. Like, I really feel like these shadows are something special. Just look at them. Like, am I the only one this excited about them? I just don't. Like, this is such an interesting formula. Then it's the gorgeous blue shade right here, which is called Baltic, and it's just super stunning. I don't think I would have initially picked this up just because it's not like, it doesn't have a lot of shifts or anything, but like if you want a blue, this is gorgeous. And it's quite shiny as well, so I am really happy to have this. I'm definitely going to get use out of this one in some custom palettes. I'm just so in love with these. This is the shade Beetlejuice, which I love the name, like Beetlejuice colors. Gorgeous. And this is like a purple. Now obviously my finger is really stained after those deeper shades, but this is such a gorgeous, like a berry undertone with a blue shift. So pretty. Then it's wild berries, and I know a couple of these are very similar, of these like deeper purpley ones, so I'm not sure if this or the next one is the one that looks like each other or what, but at least we will see the three ones that are relatively similar, close to each other. So yeah, you can definitely see the difference there with the shifts and the bases. Yeah, it's very pretty. Last in this set is the shade Retro, which is quite sparkly and pretty. I totally forgot to show you like the finger swatch of this one. Maybe the last ones as well, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to swatch these. And as you can see, it's different than the other two, but like I don't think you need all of them. So just see like what kind of shift do you prefer, what kind of base do you prefer. This one is a little bit more brown, but yeah, they're all super pretty. So I'm not sure if the lighting is the same in all of these set swatches, but I hope that you can at least see the colors. So these are some of my favorites. These are the more colorful kind of, at least some of them. You do have some golds and browns in the beginning right there, but they're just so pretty. Like Abracadabra, the green one, is my favorite, and also Magic or Wizard, which is that deep blue with a green shift, is also one of my favorites, and these are so stunning. Here I can really see the difference, like the undertones, the sparkles. You can see that these aren't that similar like you might think first. The second one is a lot more cool toned and like yellowy gold. Then we have a couple more neutrally tones, and then the green one, which is just incredible. Like it doesn't even look that intense here, but when I used it on my eye, I was like mind blown, which you will see later in this video. And then the blues, like how vibrant. I don't have anything as vibrant as this of shimmers in my collection, so I'm so excited about this. Oh, so beautiful, all of them. Now we're ready for the last set, which is 4 of these more warmer pinks and berries and reds. This one is Sweet Temptation, which is like one of those kind of classic pinks with a bluish shift. This is so gorgeous. And I'm not really one that typically use these shades, but I still kind of love them. It reminds me a little bit of Sister of the Rainbow Dragon by Tammy Tanuka. Just that this is obviously a super opaque base and so beautiful. This one is called Raspberry Liquor, and this one is the one my friend Kimber was most excited about, so this one's for you, Kim. And it's just a gorgeous raspberry cherry kind of shade. As you can see, it's not as shiny as Sweet Temptation, but you can really see the shine still. Like it's very like metallic kind of. Very beautiful. Then we have this one, which is called Lover or Amant in Polish, and this one is as close to a red without an orange undertone, I think. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the close-up here. Without an orangey undertone, I feel like, but this one is slightly pink, so I would still love to see like a true red metallic or sparkly shade, because like almost no brands have that. So this is still really beautiful, and it might look a little bit more pink if you, no, a little bit more true red if you actually use red. Oh, just look at the metallicness of those. If you use actually red mattes as a base, maybe you won't see too much of the pink. Last but not least, we have Techno Peach, which is a stunning shade. This was one that I would definitely have purchased. I will just leave you guys a list of the ones that I had in my cart before I knew that they were sending me these. But this one was definitely one of those, because you can see that like I'm so weak for these kind of shifts. It's so intense and beautiful. But yeah, those are actually the last ones. So I'm not going to put the names here. So this is Sweet Temptation, this is Raspberry Liquor, then it's Lover and Techno Peach. And here you can see them all with the flash on. Like I'm not sure, like does Lover look red or does it look a little bit more like a berry? I'm not sure. But these are so beautiful and I'm so happy to have these. So for this look, I'm actually going to use Abracadabra as the only shade, and I'm using my 0 brush from Glam Shop, which is of goat hair. So the shadow picked up really nicely here. You can see it almost looks a bit creamy, which is awesome. And I'm just going to start applying it. Wow, that is so pretty. And obviously when I do one and done looks, I put down my primer, and today I also put down a tiny bit of concealer just here and here, just because that's like where I won't be using shadow. I meant to use my glam glue, but I totally forgot. But like if you look at this, you see how beautiful it is, but I could totally use the glam glue on my other eye. Do you see how like seamlessly the edges are blending out? You can really see that base color, which is just this gorgeous green shade. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger just to kind of really see if it can be even more intense. Yeah, it does get more foiled. Wow, I am just so in love with this shade. It is so pretty. Like it has, when I'm looking here in the mirror right here underneath, I can see like an orangey shift right here, and then it's more pink to the side right here. I don't know if you can see that same. And then here you can just see that base of the green, like the green matte base. Wow, I love this. So I was really unsure if I should use another shade for this eye, just because I want to try out all of them, but I ended up just using Abracadabra on this eye too, but I used my glam glue, so I'm trying to work a little bit fast to get the shadow down before it dries, because the glam glue kind of dries quite fast. But it looks so beautiful, and I'm not sure if it's like really that much more intense with the glam glue. A little bit maybe. Like maybe you see the shift a little bit better, but like I absolutely adore this color. I think this is like one of my favorite shades from all my Glam Shop shades. And I have a lot. But I'm just going to finish off this eye. I think I might want to use White Rabbit for the inner corner, which is that very white with a little bit of gold shade that they have. But I'm just going to show you guys the close-up, and then we'll chat a little bit about these shadows. And that was the look close up, and I just started smiling when I was recording it, because the shifts when you use the flash, and that is how it will look when you have a low light situation, if you're at a restaurant or something like that. I was just so blown away. It is so beautiful. I'm like, this is one of my maybe top 5 shadows in my whole single shadow collection. It's so beautiful. I just don't even know how to say, because it's so opaque, but it's also so shiny and shifty. So beautiful, and I cannot wait to do more of these one shadow looks with these shadows, but also use them for regular looks and custom palettes. I'm so excited, I just cannot say it enough. I will just leave the products that I used for my face down in my description box, but the lipstick is Minuteman by Colourpop, which is the lip liner, and then I used Empathy by Colored Rain. But yeah, I'm just going to show you guys like this palette while I'm talking. So I'm super impressed with the pigmentation. These are so opaque. And as you can see, both from the swatches and of course from the pans now, they are super shiny, and just, I don't think I know of a formula that I can compare these to, because these are more opaque than the Turbo Glows. Talking about Turbo Glows, I will be showing you guys some turbos next to these so you can see the difference. Okay, so here you have like the velvets, and then you have the Turbo Glows and marbles here. I just kind of had to zoom out so you could see them a little bit more. Like you can see that these are a little bit more dense, kind of, but these are more sparkly and more textured. And the Turbo Glows are a little bit more sheer. They don't have that opaque semi-matte or matte base that the velvets have. But like, I love both of the formulas. I don't even know, like, can I compare just one of them? So here we have a Fortune Teller of the Turbo Glows, and then we have Old Gold here of the velvet. So you can kind of see a little bit of the difference. You can see that this is slightly less sparkly but still super shiny, and this one is just a little bit more textured. You can like really see like every, oh, here you have my chip nail, but you can really see like every sparkle in this one. And here you can also see the shade Toxic, which is from the velvets, so that is a little bit more sparkly. I will maybe be doing a comparison video if you want to see that, of like velvets with all the other kind of Glam Shop shadows I have, so I can like compare the similar shades. So please comment down below if you are interested in seeing that, because that takes a lot of time, so I just want to know that you're actually interested in seeing that before I do it. But as you can see here, it's just like, compared to the Turbo Glows, they're just like a little bit more dense, a little bit more pigmented base. That's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that it was helpful for you to see all of these shades swatched out to decide which ones you want to pick up if you were interested in the velvet shadows. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you did like the video, then I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already and you want to see more content from me. Thanks for watching. Bye!